magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
How about now? Does that work? Just amazing. Does it work now? Yeah, I was doing some testing with Aaron Archer to do live streams together. Of course, it didn't happen in the end. Aaron is busy for this weekend. I guess that's the fruits of my labor to lose my audio quality. Anyways, guys, for people who weren't able to read my lips, um, this is the Saturday night podcast live stream main event, but not quite. It's yet again another Friday night live stream. We're going to be doing this only today. Next week, we're going to go back to our Saturday normally scheduled program. We were only doing it on Fridays because last week was the holidays with Christmas Eve and Christmas. This weekend coming up is New Year's Eve and New Year's, so I figure we'll let people enjoy their family and friends, and we will be relaxing with that. Lord Soundwarp found our brand new Optimus Primal emoticons we added also just for the holiday season, of course, because of the monkey that we're going to be getting. So, anyways, this is our end of year special. We're going to talk about stuff that transpired this year and celebrate the end of the year. We're going to talk about news. We're going to do a little bit of a giveaway, everything like that. So I hope you strap in, enjoy yourselves, and we take advantage of everything that we've done here this week in the Transformer world. So let's jump into that. Again, thank you all for joining us on a Friday night. It's not usually that we do this, but we'll see how this goes down, shall we? So let's jump into the news. We got a lot of weird stuff this week, a lot of factory leaks or stuff showing up in weird places, and we're going to start first. And of course, if you want to participate in the live stream today, hit that super chat button and let us know what you think of anything we are talking about or ask some questions. So, body boom, boom, boom down there. So, let's jump into that. And it's Optimus Primal Smash Changer Optimus Primal. This was found in a Walmart in Turkey, of all places. And it seems that now we have our mainline stuff starting to show up, at least in package, in a small form now. It looks like over the next probably couple of weeks, especially going into January, that a lot of this stuff is going to start showing up. We already have a lot of that other mainline weird stuff like the battle masks and stuff like that showing up in package. So it's already left the factories in Vietnam. They've already left the packaging factories in Longueuil, Quebec. And now it's starting to hit the retailers. They're probably literally, as we're speaking right now, sitting in cases somewhere in the back of a Walmart, a Target, or for us Canadians, a a Toys R Us, and we're just waiting for the stuff to show up. Now, granted, this is mainline stuff, so the representation of how the characters look does not really represent how they're going to look in the movie, but at least it gives us product of it, and it also tells us how it's going to look, which is that jungle green kind of color scheme and everything like that. We'll see how it goes down. very weird designs, these early ones. But again, a lot of these products, I feel, it's just me, but I feel, Rise of the Beast was delayed a year from when we were first supposed to get it. And assuming this was product that we were supposed to get in 2022 of the summer, that means this is product that was planned, designed, and everything very early, long before we even had the final filming of the movie and the CG put in and the final designs of the rendering of the characters. So these are very much so a representation of those early designs. That's why you don't have a primal with the blue on his body and everything. And, just even that control art that's on the box art doesn't really represent what we've already seen in the trailer of the 8 mode. So there's still a lot to take apart here with that. But speaking of designs, over the weekend also was the Nickmas, which was the NFL on Nickelodeon. They do it on Christmas. It's this thing that they do every single year where they get cartoon characters, they make cameos, and it's pretty much a way for Nickelodeon to have a children aspect to the NFL, and also advertising for different toy companies and cartoon and companies and stuff like that. And we had the LA Rams against the Denver Broncos on the Nickmas, and one of the patron YouTube members of the Transformers Slag podcast, Mirage 101, recorded some great footage of those cameos, specifically Optimus Prime, which we got over here. And so these would happen in between plays, usually in between downs, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, this character's on the screen," and then they use it as some kind of segue to go, "Hey, this character is going to be having a movie or it's going to be a TV series, and hey, wouldn't he make a good quarterback and blah blah blah." So they showed us Optimus Prime, which this one isn't too big a deal because we've already seen essentially how Optimus is going to look pretty well in both modes. But the big one was, of course, Optimus Primal, because we still, yeah, you could kind of see it in the trailer, but not quite his robot mode. So we get a really good look at it right here in a full render, and he looks pretty good. I mean, a lot of people were complaining how he lacks color. I guess, he's very gray. But at the same time, I mean, these are movie designs. As much as we probably would like some of the color to break it up, I'm pretty sure there's almost a logical lore reason behind that lack of color, that lack of distinction. And I just love how there's that woman who's crossing and totally ruins the shot. Primal didn't just totally kill her right there. I dig it though, like getting to see his double blade, nod to his original toy having two blades that you could kind of hold in one hand and spin around. Really nice stuff. I really like what we see. Like it's starting to shape up really well, and the designs are looking really good. And I dig how Primal looks. I mean, outside of I do agree that maybe it would have been nice if he has a little more color on him, but overall the general aesthetic of him still looks really good. Really, really just celebrates the original character quite well and everything like that. So we will see what happens with that, but pretty awesome. Looks really good. I just, just the CG looks really nice. And I mean, almost better than what we saw in the trailer, to be honest. I mean, who knows what renders that they sent here to advertise it, but looks pretty good. Looks really, really good. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Now let's get into some Transformers stuff in terms of toys and everything. We have mini brands here. So mini brands is a blind pack kind of thing. You probably see them uh, I usually see them across from the Lego section in a Walmart, and it's usually at the entrances of Toys R Us's in Canada. And they're blind pack stuff. This is their, as they call it, their five surprise mini brands series 3. And what it is you get a giant ball and it breaks up into five separate parts, and you get five random mini brands. And what mini brands are is they take famous brands across all the different toy companies, shrink them down to like 1/4 of their size, or sometimes even 1/10 of their size. And then it's just kind of a small little replica of it, similar to like World's Smallest, I guess is the best way to put it, except it covers everything outside even of toys. It could be sometimes like a box of Pringles or whatever, all kinds of wacky stuff. We got a super chat from Aiden Tolbert. Happy New Year 2023. You ready for Rise of the Beast? Hope Megatron in Dinobot's movie. Hope that Megatron is in Dinobot's movie. Is Dinobot gonna get a movie? Maybe. We will see. Um, Thank you for the super chat, Alden Tolbert, and thank you for all the love and support throughout the years. Um, Getting back to this though, the mini brand. So essentially, there's going to be a couple Hasbro representations. This is everything that's in the top right. There are all the different Hasbro brands. We have Magic the Gathering, the board game of Magic the Gathering. Interesting choice to do that, a Magic the Gathering board game. I think that was the Legacy of the Planeswalkers one. That was a weird choice. A lot of other board games too, like Sorry, Mousetrap, and Monopoly, Cute Clue, monkeys in a can, and then you got Play-Doh there. But you got two Transformer ones. You got two Cyberverse, the Spark Armor series that we had, and this is the Spark Armor Optimus Prime that we see here. And keep in mind, they don't transform. Way too small for that. But these are more just you buy them, you keep them in the package, and it's kind of like, hey, here's how it looks if it was tiny. And it's kind of just doing what it does, you know? Just doing what it does. These are blind pack, so you don't know what you're getting. And considering that Series 3, according to the listing here, has 100 different things that you could find, and there's only two Transformer ones, well, the odds are against you. But you could try to give it a try if you really, really want to own a mini Cyberverse Spark Armor figure that doesn't transform. It's cute. I dig it, but I don't know. Mikey Movies. The other one, Megatron. Yeah, it is. You could barely see, but the Megatron is on the top. That's honestly, that's how big the checklist is. I would have blown it up more, but I couldn't. That's about as good as it gets. It's Optimus and Megatron of the Spark Armors from Cyberverse. That's it for the Transformer representation, unfortunately. But yeah, it's cute, but again, very, very, very difficult way to get what you want. In all honesty, I don't think anyone would have been. I don't know what the deal was with Hasbro, but I don't think maybe they weren't allowed to do like something a little more iconic like Generation One, or maybe when they planned all of this, that's what was topical on the shelves at the time was the Spark Armor stuff from Cyberverse. Who knows? Who knows? Gonna get me some water. Thirsty today, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Still pretty hyped though. Still looks cool, but I don't know. Just the way I'm not a big fan of blind pack stuff, especially when it's blind pack stuff that the other 98 things are probably stuff I might not be in. Mind you, the Magic the Gathering board game would be pretty cool to get that. But otherwise, whatever. It's funny, World's Smallest also that's World's Smallest Magic the Gathering stuff too. I wonder. Hmm. Anyways, let's get into the next thing, and it's G.I. Joe. I talked about this just yesterday, so if you want to see the full-blown visual segment, me breaking down everything, um, check that out. But essentially, we had a listing for a Tra-Gen Project Trooper 3, which is clearly going to be another Transformers collaboration with the G.I. Joe Transformers. We then got a confirmation from JT Prime 17 what is going to be in that Trooper 3. And of course, it's the Thunder Machine that is going to transform into Soundwave. How that's going to happen, we don't know. How is it going to look? Who knows? How is that going to be? Look at how Megatron and Bumblebee is, and then you could kind of figure it out from there. Also on the listing, it says here we're going to be getting, not in the listing, but from JT Prime 17, we're going to get a Ravage on Leash. We're going to get Zartan, and we're going to get Zarana. So just that whole crew together of Dreadnoks. We'll see what happens with that. I just hope it turns out well. My only thing that makes me have a question is we're going to get 3 figures this time. Is it going to be more expensive? Because the Megatron, his tank came with Baroness. That was 1 extra figure. The Bumblebee came with Stalker, aka Lorenzo. That's another just 1 figure. Now we're getting 2 figures and Ravage. And it makes me wonder, like, is it going to be more expensive? Thunder Machine is also a larger vehicle too than even the His Tank or the Striker. So I think this is going to be probably a more pricier item too. But we'll see what happens. Again, it's Trooper 4. We don't even know what Trooper 3 is yet. A lot of I guess it's early stuff that we still have to wait out on before we get more information on it, and we'll get some reveals. I know that Ben in marketing, he works with the GI Joe guys also, and they're all on vacation right now, so a lot of this stuff we'll probably be learning maybe at the next Hasbro live stream, maybe in January. So stay tuned for that when that comes. A Transformer Tuesday, a Transformer Thursday, if I don't know, Megatron Monday. We'll see what happens. We will see. And of course, our reveal today, which was also a leak, but not something that was too much of a surprise, is we talked about this on September 2022 specifically. We had a whole bunch of listings that surfaced of all this Transformers Legacy Evolution product, and one of those was a Tra-Gen Legacy EV Evolution Core Class Thundercracker. And we have our EA code product number and everything. So here it is today, straight from the factories, our Core Class Thundercracker. I mean, really, is there any surprise here with this one? We got, Starscream. We got our our Skywarp. It was only a matter of time before we get Thundercracker. It's only a matter of time before we get, you know, before we get, Sunstorm, Red Wing, maybe even retool it a little bit, give us a Slipstream core class. I'm pretty sure some people would dig that. But yeah, here's Thundercracker. He's back with his null rays. So he has null rays with this one. No tuning fork accessory like Skywarp was with the Evolution line. Pretty cool otherwise. Pretty cool otherwise. I mean, I again, it's Seeker Jets. They print money at this point. That's the way I see it. So no surprise at all. I would like though, honestly, if they did like a Sunstorm, that'd be pretty cool. Even if it was like a convention exclusive or something, or a pack in with a Generation Selects if they don't have a retail space for it. I know we haven't seen any listings for a Sunstorm, but it would be nice if they kind of broaden it. I mean, core class is such a nicely articulated core class. I mean, and if you look at it in all honesty, look at it in a vacuum. Let's say you look at this figure right now. It's not too far off from, let's say, our Voyager when you really think about it. Yeah, there's a few more twists and turns with the Voyager, but look how far we've come where something like a core class that's pretty much a Legends back in the day, or the Scout class, and how far we've gone, and look how amazing the Seeker Jets look now, even at that price point. So that bolster an army and give people more an opportunity to get all of these guys without having to spend maybe a Voyager price point or beyond. I mean, still pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Let me know if you dig it. And that's it more or less. The only other thing I just want to give a shout out is we finished our top 5 Transformers of 2022 segment. So if you have not seen that, go check that out. It was a really good segment that me and Jaws D put together. We talked about our top 5 Transformers of 2022. And it's a good, I think it was like 40-minute video. And we gave shout outs to some patrons and YouTube members that also participated in the votings. So go check that out and see if maybe your vote matches up with what the rest of the world felt from the podcast world. And that's it more or less for the news this week. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do the sponsor stuff, and then we'll open up to Patreon questions and then just chill the rest of the evening. So let's do that, shall we? I'm just going to get everything set up. I got to make sure John is ready for everything because we ran a little late today. We were very busy with a whole bunch of other things. Again, Fridays is not the best day to be doing this. So now I'm learning more than anything now for in the future. If we ever do live streams on other days, Fridays are probably not the best day unless I'm at a con or something and I have some time. But no problem, Lord Soundwarp, for the shout out. Again, I was surprised. I always tell people, the patrons and the YouTube members, when we do the votings, just vote in the comments, and I'll give you guys a shout out every time. I'm surprised there was a lot of votes. We had over, I would have to say, 260, 250 votes, but only about 10% of those were the patrons. Like a lot of patrons didn't even get in on that. So I guess they just like to just support and then watch from the corner, you know. But yeah, so let's jump into the giveaway. We're going to be giving away. This is the very last item we are going to be giving away. We've been giving away a ton of items over the past couple of weeks. Again, shout out to Ben Studios, Mikey and Louie, who hooked us up with all this stuff to give away to all you lovely people. And yeah, so like this is going to be the very last one, and then we're going to be going into the new year, and we're going to be doing some new stuff with the podcast and with the crew. But again, as a thank you to everyone in the year end, we always do these big giveaways. to give away to everybody as a thank you for all the love and support that patrons and YouTube members give to the podcast and help us keep afloat in all this craziness. So the giveaway that we have today, without further ado, this is what happens when you eat very oily food before you do the podcast. Before we do that, let's show the item. So the last thing we are going to be giving away today is courtesy again of Vince Studios. We're going to be giving away a deluxe class Transformers Legacy skids. So one lucky people is going to be getting a late Christmas present, or I don't know if you have some kind of holiday that's in January. Maybe we'll be doing that, or maybe you're born in January, you're getting an early birthday present. So we're going to be giving a deluxe class Mint in Box skids away to all Patreon members and YouTube members. Again, just to remind, the giveaway is for Patreon members. If you are a Patreon member, I'm going to ask a question. Just say your Patreon name and your answer, and then John will log you in and make sure that you are a Patreon member and throw your name in the hat. If you're a YouTube member, you don't have to say anything at all in terms of your name. Just say the answer because your name is in green. And if your name is in green, that already confirms that you are part of the YouTube membership. So, easy question. Pretty easy question. Which two characters are available in that mini brand that is going to have those world's smallest Transformers? Which one is it? While you do that, I'm going to drink some water, and then John will be able to log those answers. In the meantime, I'll give some shout outs here. Lord Soundwarp, what's up? Mikey and Louie is here. Collector Prime. I believe I saw Larry's there too. There's Larry. And Annie's here too. Annie's here also. A lot of people here. Who else is here? Let's scroll up. Horned Owl is here. Horned Owl. Michael Koo is here. What's up, Michael? Tom Laney's here. Alden Tolbert. Ron Diaz. What's up, Ron? Whole bunch. JR Mina from the Philippines. Nice to see you, JR. Always good to see you here. Thank you for taking the time to come see us. All the way on the other side of the globe, Roman Schilling. A lot of good people here. Wonder how John's doing. But yeah, so essentially we're going to be doing this. This is going to be the last giveaway this year, and then maybe we'll do some giveaways in a couple months from now. I think we gave away enough. How much stuff did we give away? We gave away a lot. We really did. We gave away a lot of cool stuff this year to fans. Again, a way to give back. But yeah, that's it more or less. So we're gonna pick one last winner, and I'll leave that to John. John, you take care of that. And put some names in a hat, and then we'll move on from that. So we'll take some super chat questions, but first, let's just give a shout out to our sponsors because they also help us keep everything afloat here in the Transformer world. First, we got Symbiote Studios. I'm rocking today a Catnip Bravo T-shirt, although it's the one that's where he's eating some wontons. It almost looks like poutine, though. Almost looks like poutine. I'm gonna call it poutine. So, Catnip Bravo, and of course, the Transformer pins, our t-shirts, and our plush. Can't forget the plush of symbiotestudios.com. Be sure to check them out for all the latest of official Transformer product. Don't buy that plush that's third party. Buy the real deal. Buy Symbiote Studios plush and the awesome pins and everything like that. Their brand new collection that's coming into 2022 and 2023. The new upgrades that are more show accurate with glistening looks and glowing eyes. So be sure to get those, as well as all the others that are available. Be sure to get them before they sell out. And stay tuned, people, because going into 2023, Proto Man and Symbiote Studios have a lot of reveals for you in the near future coming. Some great stuff, some brand new plush in the Transformer world. The official ongoing Transformer plush brand. Check it out, yo. Can't wait to show you guys how the ones that they're working on. I'm so excited. They look really good. But if Transformers aren't your thing, and well, then why are you here? We also have all the other Hasbro brands. We have, Magic the Gathering pins. We got Power Ranger pins. We got My Little Pony plush. We got Power Ranger plush. We got G.I. Joe pins. We got G.I. Joe plush. It's all awesome stuff. Go check them out. symbiotestudios.com. Again, one of our biggest sponsors. They always hook us up. And again, and I've said this many times, and it's the same thing with Anda Seats. if it's something that I sponsor, it's legitimately something that I stand behind. It's legitimately something that I actually enjoy also. It's not like we were talking about this a couple weeks ago with the established titles thing and how I dodged that bullet because I didn't even want to be involved in it because I didn't think it was on brand. How many of my patrons and YouTube members and everything like that would have cared about being a lord, who cares about that, but robots in disguise, Transformers stuff, toys, that's the stuff that we enjoy. That's the stuff that we talk about week to week, month to month, year to year. And Symbiote Studios has always been a really good supporter of everything. And again, I just want to take this time, especially at the end of the year, to thank Symbiote Studios, to thank Joseph and the crew for being so supportive for everything that they've done for Transformers. And chances are, I mean, if I'm going to be going to TFCon LA in March of next year, I'll probably be at the Symbiote Studios booth. That'll probably be my base of operation that weekend, hanging out. So, they've been really supportive and great bunch of guys, just for the podcast and everything like that. And another one too that's been very supportive and everything, of course, has been And Seats. They're the ones that hook up the chair of the podcast. What you know, and the seats with their 2022 collection. Jancy, the one of the head CEOs, it's two of them that work there at And the Seats, contacted me recently. There will be new product that they will have for 2023. Stay tuned for that. I don't want to spoil anything, but it does look pretty cool what they've shown me thus far. But all of it is actually kind of in the prototype stages right now. Of course, like any licensor, they have to get approval from Hasbro first. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming in the near future for next year. We'll definitely talk about it more. But again, And the Seats is awesome. If you are interested in getting an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, or a Megatron Generation 1 And a Seat with lower lumbar support, magnetic clasp, headrest, and many more, check out the link below, and you could use promo code PROTOMAN to get 15% off your first order of an awesome And a Seat. I know 2 people already that bought one using that promo code. Maybe you could be the third. But yeah, check it out. And the Seats, another again great sponsor of the podcast now. Really grassroots effort with that one. They kind of really liked what we did. So awesome stuff. And last but not least, Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. We have another episode coming. I'm just waiting on some images right now because it's a really good episode with a whole bunch of stuff that is going to have stuff that you've probably never seen or heard before in the Transformer world. That's all I'm going to say about the very next episode. But the episode we have up right now, of course, is some stuff from Transformers Armada. Aaron did a whole bunch of live stream stuff the past couple of weeks that have been character breakdowns. There will not be a live stream today, though, from Aaron. He's busy with family. That's kind of what's going on. The holidays are not done yet, so there's there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff coming in the near future from Toy Armada, so be sure to check that out. And again, if you haven't gotten that present for a little someone yet, and you're a little late, well, it's never too late. Uh, the Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, the Black and White Edition by Aaron Archer, is on archermonster.com/shop, his store. You could pick that up, an original art book with all original Transformer art by the guy who created those robots, Aaron Archer. Pick it up for $20, and for an extra $15, he could sketch whatever you want on the inside. There's a page specifically for an art sketch. Get yourself a tidal wave. Get yourself a Galvatron. Get yourself a Fatimus Prime from Energon. He will draw it for you for an extra 15 bones. Makes a great present. And it's a one-of-a-kind item for you to own from one of the guys who is very, very importantly behind all of the Unicron trilogy, all the other stuff going into the late 2000s, all the movie stuff and beyond. Again, check it out, archermonster.com/shop. Some good stuff, yo. Some good stuff. And that's it more or less for the sponsors. Again, I just want to thank the sponsors again, hooking a brother up and making sure that this podcast feels nice and dandy. You know, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. I like it when it's like official license stuff too, because it has that extra official stamp on it in a lot of ways, as opposed to just sponsorship from stuff that's outside of the Transformer world. So we'll take some super chats and we'll announce a winner. we will announce a winner for the giveaway in the process too. Johnny boy, send me two names just in case if the first one does not claim it. And then we will spend the rest of the evening just taking some super chats. We might end a little early today. I'm not too sure. I'll see how the schedule goes, but try to get your super chats in ASAP because I don't know how long we'll be doing all of this. It's a little windy out there, so I don't want to take too much of a risk. The internet has been a little kind of eh. If you guys have noticed, there was probably some lag periods and everything too. But we will see what's up more or less. But first, let's announce a winner. If I miss any questions, don't worry, I will catch them all I can. But the giveaway, let's start with that. So, for the winner of the very last giveaway of 2022, the very last one for the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids goes to Patreon member StarMax. StarMax, are you there? Let me know if you have seen it. If you heard your name, StarMax, and we will get that to you, my friend. Get you a nice skids. Very nice skids. Drum roll. StarMax, are you there? If you don't claim it, StarMax, we got to give it to someone else. We have another name awaiting. He is here. StarMax is here. Congratulations, StarMax. So, StarMax, same story as always. Since you're a Patreon member, just contact me through Patreon and send me your address so I could go stalk you outside of your house and maybe give you a brand new Transformer. So, we'll get that on your way. Congratulations, StarMax, on being the very last winner of a Transformer product here on the Transformer Slag podcast live stream. Friday night main event. Enjoy, my friend, in good health and all the robots in disguise. Bada bing, bada boom. So let's take some super chats. StarMax, I'll contact you probably later. So just leave me a message and we'll take care of everything. So let's start with the first question. YouTube member in the green, Lord Soundwarp. I have to ask Proto, I've seen a complete G1 Victory Saber for, this is in pounds, mind you, 460 pounds to round off 600 Canadian. Would you say it's worth it? No. Let's put it this way. Like, I mean, look, there's my Victory Saber just sitting there next to Unicron. Um, Look, I'll be honest with you guys. It's a great figure. It is. It's a really good figure. It's awesome. It's well engineered. It's not worth that. It really isn't. If you're going to spend $600, man, there's a lot of stuff you could buy with Transformers for $600. To throw it at Victory Saber, no. The sad thing is, though, is I think at some point Victory Saber is going to be a $600 item. He's not a $600 item now, but I think as time progresses, that might end up being the case because between Hong Kong and certain areas of the Asian Pacific region not getting their versions because they were lost at sea, a large swath of Europe not getting it, that means the population reports of a Victory Saber are now smaller than what they were before. You kind of end up in this situation where, yeah, he's probably going to be worth money in the long run, but he's not that now. Look, the people that are spending any kind of crazy money on it, in all honesty, are people that just can't wait. There's a lot of people in the Transformer fandom that they spend money and they don't think about it. You know, they go, I want it, I'm willing to spend whatever, and they spend that money. And they make up quite a percentage of them. But the truth of the matter is a lot of this stuff doesn't really hold that value. Unicron was a unique scenario. He came out at a weird time. He's so huge. I mean, I don't know. I can't justify spending that kind of money on something that's pretty much a leader in a Voyager class for $500 to $600. It's just that's ridiculous. You could buy a lucky draw transformer, like lucky draw green Unicron or some gold chrome Primus for like 600 American. Like it's the fact that you're buying something that had like over 10,000 units minimum made, and they're going to be kicking around. And probably right now, as of this recording, there's a few buy it nows on eBay for $400. It's kind of silly. Will it probably reach that price at some point? Maybe at some point it's going to trickle up to that, and that'll be the craziness. But I don't think it's worth it yet. I really don't. It's a great figure, but you could be the best engineered Transformer figure of all time. Whatever that is for you, it could be different. For me, I kind of really like Studio Series 86 Rodimus, but Studio Series 86 Rodimus ain't $100 figure or a $200 figure, let alone a $600 figure. So I don't see it that way. Hope that answers that, my friend. Let's jump to some super chats that are popping up here. We got Collector Prime High Proto. I recently bought a Masamu Shiro Jetfire. Was trying to read up on it. Is there much background on it other than we just the manufacturing? Are you referring to the one that just came out not too long ago that was based off of the Valkyrie? I talked about it individually in a segment. Um, it's a licensing thing. I know that, man, the stuff that happened with Harmony Gold and Hasbro, like that opened up so many doors. Supposedly there was, I mean, I did an individual segment about it, but I feel like I didn't do it justice because there was so many layers to that between the SDCC, GI Joe Jetfire coming out, Harmony Gold suing Hasbro, Hasbro going to court, it being thrown out of court, and because it got thrown out of court, Hasbro went, "Ooh, maybe we could do more with this." But then, them going like, "Okay, now licensors could kind of get in on this and also do like some Jetfire, Robotech, Macross, VF1S kind of stuff." I mean, it looks cool. I mean, when I talked about it, I thought it was pretty awesome. It sold out, so you're very lucky to pick up one because when that went live, that order, it sold out very quickly. Um, but yeah, I don't know much about the manufacturer. I don't own any stuff from that company, unfortunately, so I can't really like give you any deeper info on that. But it looked cool. It's got lights. It's got all kinds of stuff. It looks like it's kind of that, maybe not masterpiece level, but maybe like Soul of Chokoken, if you're familiar with that from Bandai. Feels like that to me. That's what it feels like. But it looks good. It looks really good. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Hey man, and you're lucky to get it. I didn't even get one, but it's cool when you get it. Take some nice photos next to other Jetfires and show just how rad it looks. We got Ron Diaz with the gold super chat. How you doing, Ron Diaz? And he says, "Hey Proto, I had to mention earlier that thanks to you, I picked up G-Axis. I am now collecting Marvel Comics G1 molds. Well, he's actually G2, but close enough. I have the Legacy Springer, Legacy Impactor, and Titan's Return Hardhead and Highbrow." Well, G-Axis, my friend, was voted probably outside of Victory Saber. G-Axis was probably the overall voted by everyone one of the best figures this year. Like if you like put Victory Saber aside and his prestige of value and everything, I would have to say probably G-Axis was the best figure this year. Just because everyone I knew, if they had like a top five, like G-Axis probably was on it. And that says a lot, when you're a Voyager class, so it's not that high prestige of like, oh, it's a leader, it's a commander, it's a Titan class, it's a HasLab, it's a masterpiece. It's just kind of that middle of the reign kind of retail product, but yet really knocks it out of the park. That says a lot about that. And his first decent figure after two kind of hiccups of attempts in the past. So great figure, awesome stuff. I'm glad you picked it up. Just looks amazing. And man, G-Axis finally gets a good toy. Simon Furman's getting one in the mail. The world is good. The world is good. Let's put it that way. The world is good. Christian Garwinkle. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Christian. Proto, I recently bought a Takara Heroes of Cybertron Master Force blind box at a con, and I got a pewter-colored Metal Hawk and Minerva. So you got, oh God, I wish I could show you guys. It's very hard to see. So up there, he's referring to the SCF PVC collection. I have a full run of those. I'm obsessed with those. Those are so cool, those. So you got the SCF PVC. They were called Heroes of Cybertron here in America. They were called the SCF PVCs here in Japan. And you got, I believe, Wave 5 or Act 5 as it's called. And they came in both color and pewter versions. I have my phone on. I'm going to turn that off. And Yeah, man. Those were those were really cool. And I actually have two of those Metal Hawk and Minerva ones. They're pretty awesome. Although the Minerva in all pewter, she looks kind of creepy without her eyes painted in and stuff. All the pewter ones are very funny. Um, let's see. Let's see. We'll go back to some other questions. But thank you, Christian. Good luck with more blind boxes and stuff. Those things are tough. Those things are tough because they also had like all kinds of chase ones and everything. And those were very expensive. We got a member YouTube member question from Sarah. Hey, Proto Man, happy Xmas. With the new Lio Prime, you think they are gonna make a new Dragon Galvatron or like with the Transmetal Megatron? I would like that. That would be really cool if they did a Beast Wars second Galvatron, primarily because the original one had terrible GPS on it. Like it was, I mean, when that toy first came out, much like any figure that has GPS, you don't realize it back then how bad it is because it's pretty solid. It's a fresh item. It didn't have time for the gold to get into the cracks and start to fracture over many periods of years. And I picked it up maybe 1 year after its debut, and I think it was 97, 98. I remember I picked it up. I bought the 2-pack. That was the one I got, the 2-pack with Lio Convoy and Galvatron. But then many years later, at a one-day show in Toronto, like a one-day toy show, shout out to Code of Honor, who's a member of one of the TFW 2005 boards. He brought one to sell at the show. He went to go transform it, and the GPS on the drill area just shattered to pieces. And he was just like, he was like, well, it was complete in mint condition, and he sold it still. Someone still bought it, but I mean, it really sucks like how the GPS is on the original. So if they do a new one, that would be really good because it would be a good update, not suffer from the same plastic. It's kind of like what I said with Beast Wars Inferno and his toy today, and why he made my list because the original toy just has such a mess, you know, such a mess. But best of luck with that. Let's scroll up a little bit and see if we missed any YouTube member questions. Just a moment. Lord Soundwarp, I have to ask Proto. I've seen a complete G1. Okay, I already answered that one. Where was the other one here? Where do we got? Where do we got? We got so much stuff going on. Everything's flying by. I don't know what's going. It's the second part of the Legacy trilogy. The way Hasbro is doing figures of the trilogy every 3 years, like Prime Wars. Are you guys referring to? Because right now, what we have Legacy, we have Legacy Evolution, and supposedly what the next one is going to be Legacy Universe. It's Legacy Uni, could be Universe, United, Unicron. We don't know. It'd be cool if it's Unicron, because if it's Unicron, you know what that means. You don't name a line Unicron without having a Unicron in it. So it would be a nice touch. And when you think about it, like look at it this way, trademark for Unicron 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. Trademark expires 24. You got to do something again at some point. So I could see a Unicron coming at some point within the next, let's say, 12 to 48 months. Again, it has to be 48 because they could float that trademark for 4 years before they have to use it. Sorry, I should say that it was a G1 Star Saber, not a HasLab one. Well, G1 Star Saber mint in box going for $600. The reason why that happens is it's old product. You know, it, I always talk about population reports, and it's like when product first comes out, let's grab something on random here, even something stupid, right? So, Seeker 5-pack, 4-pack here, Bumblebee Universe. This comes out. When it first comes out, how many mint and box units are out there? Let's say every Walmart is carrying at least one. Let's say every Target is carrying at least one. Let's say every Toys R Us in Canada is carrying at least one. That already makes it a minimum of 30,000 units, minimum. And that's if they have just one. That's if they have one. But this probably comes, box stuff like this usually come in a case of two. So this probably comes in a case of two. So that means you got to double that. So if it's 30,000, now it's 60,000 units. But then that's week 1 that it comes out. Then they get bought. How many of them get opened? Quite a few. How many of them still have the box after they get opened? Even less of that. How many of those survive the secondary market afterwards? So you kind of end up in this situation where as time progresses, and then you're 10 years removed from that item, 15 years removed from that item, how many of them are still in the box? Let's say 50% of that. So now you're down again to like maybe 30,000 units, maybe 12,000, depending on again those numbers. It's kind of hard to pinpoint a store exclusive 5-pack, but it's still a lot, you know. And then how many of those got opened? How many of those got destroyed? How many boxes got destroyed? So as time progresses, and when you're talking something like, Star Saber, the original Star Saber, you're talking easily a 30-year-old item that has had many years to lose pieces, many years to get worn out, many years to get broken, many years to get yellowed. Star Saber can yellow. Star Saber, if it was in the sun, will yellow, especially that old one. It's just not as photosensitive as some of our current stuff that we have. But there's not many out there. I would have to say, if I had to take a guess, how many mint 100% complete Star Sabers are out there? And he's a leader character figure from a 1989 G1 line. I'd have to say maybe there's 9,000 units that are 100% complete. How many with the box? Even less than that. And that's a fact. So when you get to that point where the numbers start to really shrink and there's not many out there, then you create this supply and demand kind of situation where you go, well, how many are out there and how many people want to own the original? And if there's not that many out there, but there's plenty of people that still want to own the original, that creates the value. The thing with something like HasLab is it's a prestige item. How many people who bought HasLab threw out their boxes? I'm going to say 0.0000001% probably threw out their boxes. Everyone else kept it complete. Everyone else is holding on to it. But as time progresses, you're going to have some guys that are going to sell it loose. You're going to have some guys that are going to maybe, they're already seeing yellowing on it. I know that sounds crazy. So there might be some that get damaged. There might be some that get sold. There might be some that just disappears off the market completely. And then 5 years from now, you go to eBay and how many HasLab Victory Sabers will be on eBay. And if there's only one, well, then that guy's going to be quite in a precarious situation because he could put any price that he wants because he has no competition. And that creates the population report against the supply and demand. It's, the original G1 Star Saber is what it is in value because of how old it is. To find a mint in box one today under $700, you'd be lucky, you know? It's a tough situation. So it's to me there's always this area where product comes out, it's plentiful, then it dips heavily because no one cares, then it goes up a bit because people then go, wait a minute, I didn't get it, and now it's not in stores. Where when it was in stores, people are like, ugh, I don't want it. It goes up and down. But when something is past that 30-year mark, there's very little of it out there anymore, and it makes it very difficult to pick up. But yeah, I hope that explains that a bit. Universal says Princeton Phalanx 59, probably referring to the Legacy Universal. I don't know. I think it's going to be probably Universe. I mean, I would like it to be Unicron, but it's probably going to be Universe. Sarah says we need a new big convoy and more love for the Japanese Beast Wars, like the Tanuki. You're referring to Heinled. Heinled the Tanuki with his big balls. Literally, it's a transformer with big balls. Check it out. And a working alarm clock. Tanukis are always known for their large genitalial region. Supposedly they use them as drums to trick people. This is all Japanese truth. The lore. Alice Devil. I hope Legacy does have a Galva Lio convoy deco. Oh, for sure. Look, they're going to take that Lio convoy, Lio Prime, whatever you want to call it, and they're going to do a black repaint. They're going to do a shining repaint. They're going to do a Lio Galva colors. They're going to do. There was a green one too. The green colors, powered up green colors. The sky's the limit with that one. There's like 4 repaints in that right there. Prince of Phalanx 59 needs Beast Wars Transmetal Rampage, the original or the new one is the question. If they're going to make a new one. Michael Koo, and if Hasbro has Victory Saber, Star Saber, and Victory Leo as trademarks, Hasbro will do something in the next 4 to 8 years. That is 100% correct, Michael. That's the thing too, is that now that I remember, I forget who it was. I don't think it was Aaron Archer that told me this. I know it was someone else from Hasbro that I talked with, but they said that the Star Saber trademark for the longest time was a difficult one to do because they didn't want to have the confusion with Star Wars and lightsaber and having those two together. And that's why characters like Victory Saber, not Victory Saber, Wing Saber was a thing in Energon as Wing Saber as a trademark. But now, I'm pretty sure they're comfortable with that. If anything, Star Wars is not what it used to be. So, and Transformers is looking pretty hype. So I could probably see them doing more of that stuff in the future. Victory Saber as a trademark in the West actually started with the unreleased we had these robot heroes that were supposed to come out. We were supposed to get a Victory Saber robot hero, and it never got released. But they did show that this is what potentially the package will look like, and there was these samples that got out, and of course then we saw Victory Saber as a trademark. That's pretty cool, and so that's why we got the Victory Saber trademark this time around. I don't know if we have Star Saber and Victory Leo as individual trademarks. I believe those weren't issued. I have to double check that, but we will see. But for sure, we'll get something. For sure. For sure. I always say now that the cat is out of the bag, they could do like imagine if we get like a Earth Spark, Star Saber, you know, some transformer, great swordsman from the universe comes to Earth. Anything is possible. You rewrite those stories, you have fun with them. Lord Soundward, been real, everyone. Signing out. Happy New Year, guys and gals. See you, Lord Soundward. Thank you for the love and support. Take care. Tom Laney, my internet is not corresponding. We'll have to catch the stream later. Thanks, Proto. Happy New Year, catch up. Thank you too, Tom Laney. Take care. Oh, people are dropping out today. People are dropping out today. Orlando Chavez, do you think that the Holiday Optimus Prime will repaint into Combat Hero Optimus Prime? I think that that Combat Hero Optimus Prime mold is going to be one of the first repaints. Number one, I think it's going to probably be that Amazon Optimus Prime that we keep hearing about if it doesn't happen. Number two, at Combat Hero, they're gonna see some. The thing is that the trailer and the robot mode are actually on two separate mold sprues. So just that Optimus Prime mold will probably see a lot of action. They could even put a new head sculpt on it and do other characters too. They could have fun with that and do some other unique things. Let me think of another big semi that's kind of like that too. You could just have some fun with it. Do stacks from the GoBots. the orange truck. That'd be a cool one. That'd be a very cool one. Sarah says, "I found refreshing the beautiful legacy animated prow that finally some love for animated fans. Not like the green Machine Wars Starscream that they call Skyquake Prime Universe. Well, you could see pretty much what they're going to repaint it into with that Skyquake. I will say that that's 200% true. But there's some of those molds, the prime molds, you could kind of see that they're planning 3 steps ahead with a lot of those. We got some super chats. Let's jump into these. We got a super chat from Collector Prime for 5 bones. You mentioned lucky draw items earlier. Can you explain what those are and are only Takara Hasbro? They're only Takara Hasbro items, or do other brands also have them? So what lucky draws are, and they're not exclusive to Transformers, is in Japan. Let me 1 moment. Let me grab a book. Where's a good one that would show you a good example of lucky draws? Let me find. Here we go. Here we go. So you have magazines like TV magazine, very popular with children, and they always do. Let's find some lucky draws that are even not Transformer related in these. So every month they always talk about all the cool shows, Sentai, Transformers, Power Rangers, Ultraman, everything like that. And they always do giveaways. They always do giveaways. Hey kids, send in a postcard and let us know what your favorite so and so is. And we're going to be giving away items and stuff. Like here. This one's a little crazy though, but this one's a Kirby one where they were giving away a whole bunch of different vehicles. and stuff. Get your parents a vehicle so they could pay off their house, you know? But Transformers had a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to see this one dates from the Armada era. So you'll have to bear with me until we find some Armada lucky draws. Got some Common Rider stuff here. See, they always do stuff here. Like, mail in and one lucky fan will get some DVDs, some Transformer Armada DVDs. So it's very common in Japan that they do a lot of these giveaway and mailway kind of stuff. And one thing, oh, man, this shows how old this is. Oh, hey, get a VHS of Ultraman. It shows how old this is. Um, but what they would do with Transformers a lot of times is never waste a mold. So they'll take a mold, they'll give it a specific color scheme. Most common with lucky draws are always like a chrome silver, chrome gold. Look at that Pokemon. There we go. They'll do all kinds of stuff like that, and kids will write in, go, hey, what's your favorite character of this or what's your favorite character of that? And usually they'll be like, okay, this lucky draw will be any of crazy numbers. Some lucky draws are 1 of 10 made. Some lucky draws are 1 of 100 made. Some lucky draws are 1 of like 200. They usually don't go beyond like 200, but look, there's even Beyblade. Look at that. Nah, that's old. Get some Dragoon action on. Look at that. We're going through the 2000s here. My goodness. This is always a trip to go through this stuff. I want in the future, I want to do more of this stuff too. Just kind of go through old magazines and everything. But yeah, so they give away items in the magazine. There's a green spark plug, aka Green Prime, as he was called. So lucky draws, they do those and they're random. And the reason why they're so valuable goes back to the first part. Who normally wins these lucky draws? Children. So, if they do a lucky draw that has 50 units, how many of those survive? Kenji in Okinawa, congratulations, you won a 1 of 50 made Silver Rodimus lucky draw mint in box. Oh, this is cool, sugoi desu ne. Broken. Doesn't care. It's in his grandma's basement, shattered to pieces, covered in dirt. So they become extremely valuable because so many of them don't fall into the hands of collectors. Sometimes they do. Sometimes families, especially, next generation parents that grew up on these brands, know that when the kid gets the item, it's like, oh my goodness, maybe this is worth some money. And then they could go to Akihabara or Mandarake or Book Off in Japan and trade it in and get some cold hard cash because they know there's a value to it. But a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. And there's a lot of lucky draws that the population reports that exist within private collections are like zero. Like zero. That like most of those Beast Wars lucky draws that came out during like the 90s, almost none of them exist in the hands of private collectors. And if they do, they don't have the box. That's the crazy thing. Like I have here, I'll show you guys a lucky draw. Show you one right now. Alrighty. Show you one right now. This one, thanks to Mikey and Louie, who helped me with the shipping. So they come in boxes like this. This is a lucky draw. Yeah, you guys get to see some cool stuff for the. So there's a Takara logo. This is before Takara Tomy, and this is a lucky draw. Let me just open it up without ripping the box. And oh no, Proto! What did you do? What did you do, Proto? So this is a lucky draw of kind of Transformers. This is the Black Lucky Draw Jaguar Web Diver. So they come with normal instructions that you would get with any other. And I wish I could show you the actual Black Jaguar, but you have to take my word for it. The normal one is red. So this is the Lucky Draw one. And again, if you were a kid, you get this box in the mail. You think you're gonna keep this? Wow, look at the box art. Oh my god, I gotta keep this box, guys. The box art is amazing. I'm gonna put it on my dresser in my Japanese kid's bedroom. No, it's gonna go in the trash. And this box, this is something shades of of Generation Selects today. So that stuff, it just doesn't survive. It really just does not survive at all. And it's just that's a lucky draw. That's what a lucky draw is comes. And I have a few. I have a few. Most of them Rodimus related. Obviously, I went out of my way to get all the Rodimus ones because I'm a psycho. But the point is that that's kind of what it is, and they're so tough to get. But they're despite the fact that they're tough to get, they still have a price tag, and that price tag, $300, $400, $500, $600. So if it was me and you gave me $600 and say, Proto Man, you got to spend this $600 on Transformers, I would put it with something that I feel just either I'd buy $600 worth of a whole bunch of Transformers, kind of like fill the gaps of things I'm missing, or I'd get something that I feel truly is rare, truly is awesome, truly has something going on. And it would be that. So I hope that answers your question, Collector Prime. That was a really good question. Some people got to see some cool stuff. Yeah. So that's that. Michael Koo with the super chat for $5. How you doing, Michael? I love seeing your name. Um, will Hasbro retool Kingdom Optimus Primal into Burning Convoy with half of his double matrix blast? I am surprised that they didn't do more with that Optimus Primal mold. We got the first one, we got the repaint with the 2-pack with Rat Trap, and then we got the Nemesis version. Those are like the 3 we got right now. Why is there no Burning Convoy? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense why they didn't do a Burning Convoy yet. But I'm pretty sure a lot of these molds, they could go as far as like 10 years before they see a repaint. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a box set. There's going to be like some kind of, next Walmart set of figures. Oh, Transformers Rumble in the Jungle, Walmart exclusive set. And for the Beast Wars stuff. And there'll be a Burning Primal. Look, 2023 is going to be a Beast Wars year. I'm pretty sure they're going to do plenty of crazy stuff. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. And again, then we're going to see that Primal mold pop up again. And that Cheetor mold. And that Dinobot mold. And that Tigatron mold. And all the others. For sure. But yeah, the double Matrix Blaster, that'd be really cool too. For anyone that don't know, the little Matrix in his chest that people don't realize with the sculpting. Ron Diaz, that Optimus Holiday mold can be a new Thunderclash. You know what? Honestly, I think we're gonna get a Thunderclash out of Motormaster. That's the vibe that I get. I get a feeling we're gonna get a Motormaster Thunderclash retool repaint from that Commander class, because it's just like all that combiner pieces there. It kind of like if you twist it, turn it in a certain way, it kind of looks like the old Thunderclash playset from the UK days. Prince of Phalanx 59 with the $2 super chat. When do you think Hasbro will make a Toxitron? Well, unfortunately, Prince of Phalanx 59, they don't have the trademark anymore for Toxitron. That expired, I want to say 5 years ago. So they could make one, but there is no incentive to make one. There's the difference. When you have a trademark, you have to do it. When you don't have a trademark, you don't have to do it. You still could. They still could. They still can make a Botanica, even though they don't have a Botanica trademark currently. But when they opened that doorway to making a Botanica, they made the one, and then if they refresh that trademark, they have to make another. Toxitron is a dead trademark right now. It's not currently active. So they could make one. Look, Toxitrons are historically either, Optimus Prime repaints, but more specifically, laser Optimus Prime repaints. So, would you like to see, that laser Optimus Prime from Legacy turn into Toxitron? That'd be cool. I dig it. But will they do it is a whole other question. We don't know. We've seen all the listings more or less for 2023, and there's no indication right now, at least outside of, let's say, store exclusives, that we will be getting a Toxitron. Sarah, why they never give up on more accessories with the main line? For example, my wig with the with the big red Megatron, or the stone axe of Dinobot, making accessories like they did with Siege. Well, number one, if they do an accessory kit like they did with the Centaurion drone, the one negative with that is everything is going to be colored in one color. when they did the Red Cog recently, they were able to kind of paint stuff here and there. But I know some people weren't a fan of how much Red Cog cost, despite the fact you were getting a deluxe class with a whole bunch of extra bits and pieces, but that went to the paint budget. I think that the reception of how well Red Cog did will indicate if we get more accessory packs in the future. What those numbers are, we don't know right now. It's still pretty fresh. And I mean, honestly, there's still some Red Cogs still on store shelves to this day in Target. So we don't know how that was received, but we'll probably know within the next, like, let's say 6 months when Hasbro has time to really, get an idea from retailers how that moved as a product, especially as a store exclusive, because then you could really see it individually because those ship in a case, a solid case together. Um, but then on top of that, like getting accessories, that's a tough one. Like when you have a toy, it gets to a point where there's only so much that could be sculpted. So like to give an example of stuff that's weird, right? So Minerva. Minerva has clear plastic in some areas that are painted, black plastic, which was used for the wheels and the gun, and otherwise everything is white and red. You have this clear accessory that's completely foreign to the rest of this, that doesn't appear with anything else. Some people could be like, oh, but Proto, isn't it the light bar because that's clear plastic? Exactly. This mold on its own, right, had one thing going on, everything that was made for Elita 1, and then this was made on the side from tooling, and that's why they share those colors. And what really is unique to this outside of the head sculpt itself, the head sculpt was probably already on the sprue to begin with Elita 1 back in the day when this was first made. So when you do something like give a wig accessory with a Megatron, right? Let's say you give like that wig accessory for Transmetal 2 Megatron. When you're going to do the repaint, you're going to now have this wig accessory included with it. And you could say, well, then just include it with it. But now it doesn't make sense. Why does a Cryotech have the wig accessory? Like some of them, it's like it's not on brand accessories. It doesn't make sense. I mean, that's why when Alita was first created, right? When Alita was first created, anyone who saw this gun in Alita's hand, who owned an original Nightbeat, would know right, or Minerva, would know right away, oh, we're getting Minerva. Like that's the thing is every time we get weapons with our Transformers, pay attention to the weapons that come with them and see how they're sculpted and shaped. Because that's sometimes the biggest spoiler or indicator of what the repaint retool will be. And when that Alita 1 came out and we saw that gun, everyone's like, yeah, that gun kind of looks like Nightbeat's gun. Or you mean Minerva? And then, of course, you saw the Wreckers comic book and she looked like her too. So it was pretty clear what was going on there in a lot of ways. Great answer for the lucky draw. Thanks. Thank you for Collector Prime for the question. Good stuff going on there. But yeah, lucky draws. I mean, again, it's just I don't suggest people pick it up unless it's something that really appeals to you because they are very pricey items and they're not exactly very good for transforming. A lot of them are made out of chrome. They're kind of touchy. You don't want to mess with them. They're very fingerprint prone. It really is something where if you're a completist like me and you want to kind of own a little bit of everything of the history of Transformers, then you kind of go for it. In all honesty, I don't remember what I paid for the lucky draw of the web diver, but it wasn't too much. I think I picked it up for maybe I want to say 150. Mostly because people don't care about web divers at all. So like here also, all my web diver stuff is here by the way. It's all off camera. It's like you have this web diver playset. No one cares about this stuff, but it's cool. How often do you have like a playset or something? That's always awesome stuff. Gradion there, the little playset and everything. It turns into like a little laptop that can be folded. I always dig that kind of stuff. Always cool. But again, I'm like a minority on that because most people don't really care about these dead toy lines, but me, they're a part of the history. And Web Divers at one point was considered to be a sequel Transformer series. It was. If you look at that old Armada image, there's an old Armada image of the whole Armada team when they were developing Transformers Armada, and there was a half transformed in robot mode Gladion, the train back there, on top of the desk while they were discussing how they were going to do this Project Micron, Project Armada. So, piece of Transformer history. Sarah, what do you think they're going to do next after Tiger Hawk, a new Optimal Optimus, or a new Rampage Transmetal, or Depth Charge? Um, I mean, me personally, if I had a choice, I don't think they'll do an Optimal Optimus yet. I think they're going to still put some time in between that. But Depth Charge would be really cool. Depth Charge is another one of those that you have the original toy, you got the Universe 1.0 repaint, and then of course they kept the trademark alive with a movie character. But then you have the Bakan Club exclusive kind of thing there, and that's really it for Depth Charge. He's one of those characters that had nothing, so to get a cool update toy of him, that'd be really good. That'd be really really good. Eric with the super chat. Hey, Proto, assuming Rise of the Beast does well, do you think Hasbro would consider a Beast Wars revival? I think we're already in a Beast Wars revival, my friend. We have a Beast Wars Monopoly game, Beast Wars reissues on shelves. Kingdom was 50%, if not 60% Beast Wars. The Legacy line had Tarantulas, Inferno. Who am I forgetting that might also be from the Beast continuity? I think those two for sure. So we already have two brand new brand new Beast. Technically, you could count Lio Convoy too, that's coming out also, and then a few others. But we already have quite a few Beast stuff coming out. We have Beast Wars in the Jada diecast mini series. There were some Beast Wars characters in that. I think 2023 is already going to be quite a Beast Wars revival. I think there's already going to be quite a few Beast Wars product going into next year. And I think also Jada with their Metal Heroes collection is going to do an Optimus Primal statue too. So yeah, Transmetal 2 Megatron, excuse me, how could I forget that? We just talked about it 5 seconds ago. Like I think if anything we're entering it now. Like it really kicked off with Legacy with a few Beast Wars figures, but there's a lot of product on the side. I mean, the Beast Wars Monopoly game. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, let's say Wizards of the Coast does a Beast Wars, little subset of Beast Wars trading cards. There's we're gonna see more of it. There's gonna be a lot of marketing. Look, Rise of the Beast is already has confirmed to have Halloween costumes planned, drinking cups, backpacks, t-shirts, shirts, shoes. There's going to be so much of that stuff. Cheetor is going to be on everything. So we're definitely entering the Beast Wars revival going into 2023. So I think we're if we're not already living it, we're going into it very very soon. That's my take on that. If Rise of the Beast does well, then Hasbro's going to definitely double down on that. Much like how when Beast Wars was successful in 95, 96, Hasbro went, well, damn. It was because look, G2 was a different thing. G2 was 1993, 1994, and 2 months of 1995. 2 months, 2 years and 2 months. And I told you, they don't really realize how bad something does until 6 to a year into it, 6 months to a year. So when G2 came out, they were like, ooh, by 94, they're like, ooh, this is not going very well at all. And then they're like, well, we already planned some stuff for 94, so we got to put that out there. So they put out that 94 product, and a lot of that 94 product got canceled. See the G2 Defensor, G2 Stunticons, of course, like all that other weird, some of the Dinobots that never got those alternate color schemes, some of the GoBots that didn't get even released that then we got later on as different spy changers. There was so many G2 products that didn't get released because G2 was so unsuccessful. Then they go into Beast Wars, year one, 95. Sells very well. 96, toy line and a TV show. Sells very well. 97, ooh, we're still doing well. 98, oh, we're still doing well. 99, oh, we're still doing well. 2000, oh, now we're in Beast Machines. I think we're doing well, but let's see what happens. 2001, ooh, Beast Machines didn't do well. Pivot. And then we had Robots in Disguise. So if Rise of the Beast does well, we'll see more of that. Will lead to more years of Beast Wars. For sure. For sure. That's just the basic logic of business, though. That's kind of always how they do it. But the reaction is never instant. It's never instant. It's never like if if a new wave of product comes out, like let's say Legacy Evolution comes out and it just rots on the shelf completely and never moves, they can't react to it and pivot until about 6 months to a year later because they have all this product planned out beforehand. So even if it does badly, they still have to be putting it out. And that was the sad thing with G2. There was a lot of G2 product they were still putting out when they already know it had failed. And they put it out because there's, obligations to retailers, the SKUs, the products, the shelving's already planned. It's already been shipped from the factories. It's tough. Sarah says, I watch so many Marvel collectors that they start buying Transformers for the Red Dragon because they never get a Red Dragon figure at that scale with the Marvel series. Are you referring to like a Fing Fang Foom? Oh, you mean they're buying it for their display because they need a Red Dragon? What would they need a Red Dragon for? I mean, Lockheed from X-Men, Fing Fang Foom from, I guess, the Mandarin. Was Fing Fang Foom in Shang-Chi? I didn't watch that movie. I didn't bother with any of those recent Marvel movies. I skipped them all. Because if it had the 10 rings, that would be the Mandarin. So that would have Fing Fang Foom. No? I don't know. I didn't see that movie, so someone will have to fill me in on that one. That's going to be a movie I'll watch one day when it's on TV, and I'll check it out. So many of those are not worth my time to spend 2.5 hours. There's so much better things I could be doing with that. Who doesn't need a big red dragon? No, but I'm just curious, like, why would Marvel collectors need one? Is there a specific character I'm not aware of that's a big red dragon that I'm forgetting? I don't know. I do know. Fing Fang Foom was on Shang-Chi. Okay, there we go. So no, it's because that's why. Because when the Ten Rings I associate with the Mandarin and stuff from like the Iron Man comic books. I was an avid Marvel comic book reader in the '90s. Like I read anything I could get my hands on. If my sister bought the girl books, whether it be She-Hulk or a fantastic Mr. Fantastic Four book that was more Invisible Woman skewing, or like even some of the female other Marvel books like Silver Sable and Miss Marvel, I'd read everything I can, anything I could get my hands on. And that's why like I liked what Marvel did initially with the movies. And then I think after Endgame, I was just kind of like, outside of maybe the odd Spider-Man movie, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to take my time and relax. And you know, um Mark Morales with the super chat for $5. Hey Proto, hope you have a great New Year's Day. Thank you, Mark. I will hopefully. What remaining Studio Series characters do you want for 2023 aside from the upcoming Rise of the Beast figures? I would like to see the Ice Cream Twins. I'll be honest with you. Now that we got the Fallen, because my answer would have been the Fallen, but I want to see the Ice Cream Twins. I think they would be this cool little 2-pack, like because the original Ice Cream Twins was that deluxe price point, and they put like two little scout classes into a deluxe price point. And it would be cool if they take like let's say a Voyager class and they put two deluxes together. I'd dig that a lot. And I like the twins. People talk smack about the twins, but I think they're fun. They're fun little designs. So more specifically, the ice cream. I don't care about the two little excuse me, skids and mud flaps separately. But I would definitely dig them as the Ice Cream Twins. That'd be a nice little 2-pack together. Nice little pink package. I'm pretty sure retailers would be like, "Ooh, I don't know about this," but I mean, I have the originals, and I think they're pretty rad. So those would be cool. Who else is missing? Who else is missing? Maybe some of the weirder designs. You know, give me a full size. Give me and no, they're never going to do this, but give me a Titan class full size 1x1 scale wheelie figure. Movie wheelie, Revenge of the Fallen wheelie. Give me that. They'll never want to do it, but that'd be cool. Because I just like Wheelie, and I think that every figure that Wheelie got didn't do him justice. Even he had that deluxe class one that's huge, and it still didn't do him justice with the faction swap engine gimmick. I like Wheelie. It's like the Joe Pesci of Transformers. And it's not every day you have a Transformer, call a human the B word. So, um, Orlando Chavez with the $5 super chat. You talked about 3 golden ages of Transformers popularity. What would you consider a golden age or dark age in terms of toy design? Well, toy design, I would have to go with G2 because they literally front-ended that first year with old product. So there was no originality going in the G2, but they were playing it safe with G2. Because like, hey, we're gonna bring back Transformers after it died off in the Ninja Turtle era. So we're gonna take all this old product and just paint it up and retool it a little bit and put it out there. And then they realized no one wanted that, and by the time that happened, it was too late, and any new product they put out, no one cared about. I mean, look, Laser Optimus Prime's awesome, but the damage was already done with G2, so no one cared about a Laser Optimus Prime of that. And the Jets are great, and the Laser Cycles are great. Like, there's a lot of great G2 toys, just no one was buying at that time. At the same time that G2 was taking over the world, not taking over the world, Power Rangers was taking over the world at that time. Power Rangers made a debut in '93. To summarize for Orlando though, so like Orlando says the 3 golden ages. So the 3 golden ages of Transformers were the 3 times that Transformers were the best-selling peak products. That was 1985, second year of Generation 2. Number 1 selling boys toys, was taking over the world, household name, pop culture, blah 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 blah, which then greenlit the '86 movie. The second golden age was 1997, which was technically the second and a half, third year of Beast Wars. Second year of Beast Wars being a cartoon, let's put it that way. Again, household name, number 1 selling toy, outselling the N64, which at that point was the 1996 best-selling item, close by the PlayStation 1. And then the N64 was going to be the number 1 best-selling boys toys item going into 1997, but was beat by Beast Wars Cheetor. So Beast Wars was the number 1 selling boys toys for 1997. Again, peak popularity, saved Transformers and the brand. And the third golden age was 2009, not related to the movie. People might not like the movie, but 2009 Revenge of the Fallen movie era, because you had animated was on the air, which was killing it. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was making insane gangbusters. Everyone loved Transformers. People who weren't Transformer fans were now Transformer fans. TV shows, pop culture, everything. Toy Fair magazine, who always avoided talking about Transformers, now loves Transformers because of it. So those were the 3 peak eras. Dark eras, I go with 1992, which was the first time that we had like barely 10 products coming out. And there was no fiction, there was nothing going on. I actually did a YouTube segment about this, which is not Google, but YouTube search the worst year of Transformers, Transformer Slag podcast. I talked about that, and it was 1992. It was a terrible year. I think that was a Patreon listener question, but that and G2. G2 was pretty rough also. I think maybe the tail end of Beast Machines, that really hurt sales. There was a lot of bad stuff going on around that time. But those are definitely, I'll give you, those are like the 3 dark ages. But each one of those created originality. 1992 made them go, "Oh, things are looking bad. Let's do G2." G2 did bad. Let's do Beast Machines. Beast Machines was good. Excuse me, let's do Beast Wars. Beast Wars was good. Then they did Beast Machines. Beast Machines didn't do good. Let's reevaluate again. Then they did the Unicron trilogy. By the time we got to Cybertron, it was starting to peter out again. Let's do the movie stuff. So there's always these ebbs and flows. Transformers is never truly dead. It's just sometimes it's really in the gutter, and then sometimes it's killing it, and then it goes back in the gutter. It's the circle of life, my friend. T-Formers 2002 with the super chat. Hey, Proto. Hope your night is going well. What direction do you think they should go for the next TF movie? And what's for dinner? This is bound to happen sooner or later, that question. Uh, well, that really has to depend on if Rise of the Beast does well. If Rise of the Beast is ridiculously successful, and they see also, keep in mind, the movie sales are one thing, but toy sales are important too. The reason why Hasbro went so hard on Bumblebee was because he was a really best-selling toy during that 2007 movie. So if Rise of the Beast comes out and does ridiculously well, and let's say those Beast Wars toys related to it, those Beast Wars characters are the best-selling figures of everything, more than RC, more than Wheeljack and everything, Hasbro's going to go, well then, maybe we do a Beast Wars movie. Maybe we do that. Maybe the Adventures of Cheetor, Optimus Primal, Air Razor, Rhinox and the new member who has joined the team who recently was a traitor from the Terracons, Dinobot. Who knows? They could do stuff like that. If it's not successful, then they have to go back to the drawing board and we end up with a Bumblebee movie situation. Because The Last Night didn't do as well as they had hoped. And they went, well, I guess we're not going to do that Unicron thing we were planning. Maybe we'll do that one-shot movie, Bumblebee. We'll get that Travis Knight guy who did that claymation movie, Kobo and the Three Doors or whatever. So it really has to do with whatever happens, the success of Rise of the Beast will determine what happens with the next movie. But they again, remember I told you that they need a year to figure that out. Well, luckily a lot of these movies are 2 to 3 years apart, so they get plenty of time to figure that out by then. They're able to look at those box office numbers right away. You don't get like toy sale numbers right away, but day 1 when a movie comes out, you get those box office numbers right away. So, kind of a different animal. They're able to know right away. And what's for dinner? Got egg rolls, Chinese egg rolls, rice, and for New Year's, got me only Quebec Canadians one of those. Got me a uh, Rockaberries pie, giant pie waiting for me for tomorrow. Laura Seacourt ice cream, Super Kid, also known as Superman ice cream. Got that waiting for me too. Tomorrow is going to be a lovely day. That's why I'm doing this today. So tomorrow I could relax. I'm going to be sorting some toys. I'm going to be just relaxing, playing some video games on the old Nintendo Switch. Tomorrow's going to be good. Sarah says they start buying it for the display. So, like the guy from Monster Island buddies and the Kaio collectors, because who didn't need a big red dragon. Monster Island buddies. I'm unfamiliar with that. And also ice cream truck combiners. Yeah, exactly. Everyone wants the ice cream truck combiners. I'm not the only one. Monster Island display buddies. I am unfamiliar with that. Unfamiliar with that. Is that some new Marvel comic stuff? I only buy the odd book here and there now. Someone's like, "Oh, hey, Silver Sable's back." I bought that issue in Spider-Man. So we will see. We will see what happens with the books. How much time we got left? We got half an hour left, people. Got half an hour left for the stream. Get those super chats in, and then it is the end of the year. This is the last stream of 2022, people. Let me know how you felt about 2022. What was your favorite figure of 2022? If you didn't get to vote, super chat that. I still like, if you don't count G-Axis, again, I'm always gonna oh, that one fell. Lean on Override. That's a good one. There's a lot of really good ones. Blaster was the one that fell. I knocked over Override. Blaster to get to Override. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of good figures we got in 2022. When I was looking at the voting, I wish I could pull it up right now, but you could kind of see if you go to the voting segment that I did, not the actual segment me and Jaws D did together, but when I did the call out for the voting and you had to submit your votes, if you go to that one, you'll see there's such a diversity of votes there. There's people that are like, hey, I liked, core class this. I liked, this little figure here. I like that. Like there was people that loved all kinds of different things. And that was pretty cool that it wasn't just like everyone voting for the same thing. But to be fair, you know, Victory Saber won it by a landslide. Whoever did, the people who listen to my podcast were clearly people who buy HasLab items, and they all made sure to vote for Victory Saber. So that one kind of rocked it for sure. Ron Diaz says Studio Series Ironhide best figure. Ron, did you vote? I don't remember seeing your name, but I know that there was quite a few votes for Studio Series Ironhide. I think you did vote. Not too sure. I don't remember because I know I did all the shout outs for the for the super chat and member peoples, not super chat, the Patreon and YouTube members. Skids was also really good. I'm glad to give that one away. Amazon Alita one picked up $17. Yeah, that's another Patreon exclusive kind of thing. We have a whole bunch of sales that we recently announced that are going to be all over the next couple of days because obviously stores are going to be open only for a little bit before they close for New Year's, but afterwards, when everything opens up again, there's going to be a lot of New Year's Day, New Year sales from Walmart that are going to be coming. So don't buy your figures at full price just yet, people. The retailers are going to be selling quite a bit over the next couple of weeks. They are desperate. It's pre Black Friday sale, Black Friday sale, Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday, Cyber Monday 2.0, Cyber Monday 3.0, pre Christmas sale, Boxing Day sale, which is after Christmas, end of year sale, New Year's sale. They're so desperate to move product in that bubble from December to mid-January. Don't rush to pay anything full price. Do not rush. Save your money. Save your money. Some friends and I will be starting a new TF RPG campaign in 2023. Should be fun. Oh, this is Horned Owl, by the way. Sorry. Should be fun. Travel through Cybertron space and visiting other worlds like Velocitron and Biosphera. I've been working with Renegade Games with all of that stuff, specifically the TCG stuff. You can't see it, but on the other side here, they're all there. If you actually look at not the RPGs, but all the deck building stuff, I'm credited in all of those for brand consultant to make sure the flavor is good. That's gonna be really fun, and maybe some Magic the Gathering stuff in the future. Stay tuned for that. Sarah, in Mexico, Volkswagen Bumblebee flies from the aisles because in Mexico until 2004, all the taxes were, oh man, were beat this to people's just to buy it for nostalgia. I'm going to assume you mean the G1 reissue, or are you talking until 2004? What Volkswagen Beetle Bumblebee was there in 2004? There wasn't any unless you were talking old stock, which that would be impossible. Prison Phalanx 59, just off topic, but Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron vehicles are really good and are selling really well. Those are the ones that are kind of like anyone remembers what were they called there? Action Fleet, done by Kenner. Is it kind of like the Action Fleet stuff? I have quite a few of Action Fleet. I love those as a kid. Star Wars Action Fleet, may the Force be with you. Remember those commercials? Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, let me know, like again, super chat what your favorite figures were of the year if you didn't get to vote or anything. Because I'm always curious, like what people really liked. Mikey and Louie ask, Proto, how many transformations can we make one toy have? Well, they tried to do 12 with Devil Gigatron, and well, everything is a suggestion. I always feel that 3 is about as far as you could go. When you go to 4, something is being compromised. When you get a 6, something is being like, I love Six Shot, don't get me wrong, but his tank mode and his car mode, they're almost the same thing. His gun mode, yeah, okay. His plane mode, yeah, okay. The winged wolf mode and the wolf mode, and something always is going to get sacrificed because even triple changers, there's always a weak link in those. There's always one mode. Either the robot mode sucks and you get 2 good vehicle modes, or one vehicle mode sucks, the robot mode is good and one is okay. Like Springer, great robot mode, and then the helicopter mode and the car mode might as well be the same thing. One has a propeller and a thing, one doesn't. It's like it's so I always feel that the more you put, the more you hurt with those. And Devil Gigatron being the most with 12, um, all of those are suggestions. Elephant mode, hand mode, jet mode, car mode. Dragon mode. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy stuff. What were some good figures? Here's one that Jaws D said was one of his favorites. He really liked Braun. I like Braun too, because Braun is awesome. Braun's one of my favorite mini bots. Mikey Louie, who is the biggest combiner ever made? Is it Primus himself? Can combine figures combine themselves? So when you mean biggest combiner ever, do you mean in fiction or do you mean as a toy? Because as a toy, that would probably at the time being have to go to, yeah, it's a little bit bigger for Predaking. Predaking's probably the largest combiner for the time being. And if you don't want to go into the semantics that a headmaster is a combiner because he combines with his transtector body, but traditional gestalt combiner. Um, but yeah, you know, I don't know. That's a tough one. Both. Well, in fiction, the largest combiner is probably still Predaking because he towers over Devastator, and Devastator is supposed to be like pretty buff too to begin with. When you're talking in fiction, probably also Predaking by the Titan class one, I would imagine. I don't think there's anything that even because it's Predaking and Devastator. Those are the only two until they do something else. Until they do something else, no, that's probably it. I mean, I can't really think of any others. Cannot think of any others. Cannot think of any others. We got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left in the live stream. In the craziness of the live stream. What else? I want to go through this. This is really nice. This old 2000s books. Joey's with the $2 super chat. Are anyone voted for Famicom Boy? Good stuff. Well, actually, no third party stuff was allowed to be voted for, so no one could have voted for Famicom Boy. Um, but I would have hoped that someone maybe would have. We actually do have a new exclusive that we're working on. I don't want to spoil anything. If I am going to TFCon in March in LA, it will make its debut there. If not, then 100% it'll make its debut in Toronto. And anyone who is Patreon people will get access to it regardless of where they are in the world. That's one of the benefits of being a patron is any exclusive transformable figures that happen through my sources do get access to them. You just got to pay for the shipping. You don't have to pay for the figure. That's my rule. A extra bonus of being a Patreon member. For everyone who got the Famicom Boy for free in the mail. I think only one person or two people didn't get it because it was stolen in the mail, which sucks. And when I make more units in the future, I'll make sure to hook those people up again. Just we're all sold out. I didn't think that their stuff would get stolen in the mail, but stuff happens, I guess, in large numbers. So we'll try to get them if we ever make a second run, a small second run to kind of cover those other people. You know, we'll do that. But stay tuned for that with the future exclusives that we're working on. Princeton Phalanx 59, Transmo 2 Megatron, Override, G Axis, Motormaster, top list for bots of 2022. And Princeton Phalanx 59, G2 Megatron, Transmo 2 Megatron, Override, and G Axis all made the list along with Motormaster too. So you have a good taste that matches with the other people. Link CW says, missed the stream again. Work sucks. Don't worry, brother. It's going to be uploaded. It's going to be re-uploaded usually 30 minutes after the stream for everyone to enjoy. Um, let's see where we at here. Horned Owl. Unfortunately, my Famicom Boy fell out of the envelope in transition. All I got was a card. Hopefully it won't happen again next time. Well, what we're going to do next time, because it seems like people are stealing them, we'll have to just figure out some better way to ship it in the future. I tried to keep the shipping on the down low. I wanted to keep all the costs low and stuff because I'm covering all the costs. But when you're sending out, God, it was 60 different Famicom boys. When you're sending out 60 of them, let's just say the shipping built up. So I didn't want to be losing my butt. That's why you guys had to cover some of it. But It was crazy, but I'm glad 99% of people got it for free in the mail. It was an extra bonus thank you to all the patrons and everything like that. So hopefully we'll figure out a better system in the future. Again, we're gonna debut it probably at LA. If I'm not in LA, then 100% we're gonna debut it in Toronto in July, and it'll be the same thing. It'll be a figure and a trading card, and then we'll take it from there. And then we'll make sure the patrons also get hooked up. Yeah, T-Formers 2000. Yeah, the mail's like that. You know, a lot of times when you send stuff, sometimes people they just go, "Oh, what's in here?" and they rip it open. Mikey Louie, our favorite are pretty much every Beasties release. Well, Tarantulas and Inferno definitely made my list, and I love those. Those looked really good. And soon they will be able to vote for Beast Machine Silverbolt, which will be next year. So then it's pretty obvious what you're going to vote for, even if it's not good. Michael Koo, best 2002 repaint for me was Speedia 500 Crasher. That was, you know what, that was a good one. That probably, if I had a top 10 list, it would have probably been on there, maybe Crasher. That one looked really good. I didn't mess with it yet. I don't own it, but that one looks really good. Like that's something that's like that speaks to me. Like that GoBot kind of stuff. Roman Schilling Motormaster is my pick for 2022. And yes, you got I remember you, Roman, you got yours in. Horned Owl, I have my Family Convoy card in the case right now on display with my Switch. You have it in you have it in a top loader? I think my own personal one. Oh, I can't even see it. My own personal one is just in a penny sleeve. It's not even in a top loader. Yeah, I should probably put it. You know, that's what's hilarious. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I've worked on in the past where I never got to own it physically. And I know that sounds crazy, but that happens a lot. Um, I worked on the Deadpool Drift like figure. Never got that one. Never got a copy of it. A lot of them, it's kind of crazy. So once in a while, when I do get something, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I actually get to own it. Um, let's see. Sarah says, oh wait, I want to make sure. Okay, Sarah says, Big Red Dragon, Tarantulas, Inferno, Frenzy Blue, and Big Red Dragon again. Everyone loves the Big Red Dragon. That one also got a lot of votes. The Megatron, I think a lot of people were really waiting for that one. And then Sarah says, is another playability between lines, like the head Beast Machines Megatron with Fortress Maximus. Oh, is there another playability between the lines, like the head Beast Machines Megatron with Fortress Maximus? That was more just a coincidence, if anything, that the head would lock on there. In terms of playability between lines, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of examples of Titans Returns heads that ended up in future lines that could obviously play with Titans Return stuff again. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of that cross pollination of play for sure. I mean, geez, there's a lot of that when you get into any of that like Prime Wars trilogy stuff that all kind of plays with each other. Same thing with anything that has like 3mm pegs. You know, when the 3mm peg started to really become a thing with I want to say the Scout class with in between, like let's say Revenge of the Fallen going into Dark of the Moon, that Transformers 2010 movie era, when they started making that 3mm peg a thing, the C clips. Remember when those were a thing for a little bit, and so that those were used across many different lines. There's a lot of that. Also love the shattered glass stuff, says Mike and Lily. Ron Diaz says, I don't like Legacy Prime RC, but I like the Legacy Road Rocket. Well, Road Rocket, I think, was originally a male character. Then they made it a female character. So they, you know, it kind of works for both ways in that. And the translucent plastic also works with the figure, which kind of looks like the old laser cycle gimmick with translucent plastics being used. So it works. It looks really nice. I like the new head sculpt on it. Prince of Phalanx 59, I think Sound Blaster and a Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speed of 500 Shadow Strip were good. They were good. I wish I picked up those guys. I only saw them once in stores and never again. All of that stuff just disappeared. Right now, honestly, like right now, the stock at Walmart, forget about it. It is not looking good right now at Walmart. It is not. Look at Prime. Look at that. You got a green spark plug punching out Armada Megatron there. I love these because these look at this cover. It's such a product of its time of everything there. You got Armada, you got Abba Ranger, which was what was called Dino Force at the time. You got like all kinds of crazy stuff. A little bit of Beyblade, everything in that 2001, 2002 era. You got Pokemon. That's what's it called there? Some Sapphire and Ruby era Pokemon. Gen 3. Good stuff, good stuff. All the different Junkions are awesome and more to come. Oh, there's probably going to be tons more. I think that that evolution poster really shows us that there's probably going to be way more Junkions. Roman Schillens Cybertron Bumblebee in Cybertron mode is also my favorite. Movie Transformers Bumblebee, I guess you mean, like the Cybertron one. B187, whatever it was called there, whatever his designation number was. Michael Koo going to have to end a Pokemon era with Ash and Pikachu. Yeah, I know that really sucks. The end of an era. I honestly, this is what I feel. I hope they don't steal this idea. You know how they should end it? The very last scene, and anyone who's a hardcore Pokemon anime fan would know. You know how they should end it? The very last scene is Misty. She's at her gym in Cerulean City, and then Ash shows up with a new bicycle for her after destroying it in episode 1. And then it should be the end. That's how it should end, with him giving back a bike. That's how it should end. If they don't do that, missed opportunity of continuity. That would be a perfect bookend. JC Red Lion with the gold super chat. Happy New Year, Proto Man. What is the rarest item you got this year? Doesn't have to be Transformer related. Good question. Probably that lucky draw, but let's not go with the lucky draw. Did I get the lucky draws? Yeah, I did get the lucky draw this year. Rarest item would have to be, gosh. Oh, I know what it is. Hold on. I know exactly what it is. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it sealed for now. But so probably the rarest item I got this year was maybe Aaron Archer in his personal archive had a sealed from the factory Nefertina from the Mummies Alive 90s toy line. So that was probably the rarest item I got. To get it factory sealed, which I'm never going to open it because I want to leave it like that. That's pretty cool. That would probably be my rarest item I got. Anyone who knows Nefertina from the Mummies Alive 90s cartoon that everyone didn't remember, that would probably have to be it. And the shattered glass, the uh the lucky draw from web divers. I don't know. It's hard. I get so much stuff throughout the year. It's kind of hard to like piece it together. I got some weird video game stuff here and there, little PVC figures and everything. It's kind of hard to like measure what is valuable. Like
no
these
matter
old
the
like
cost.
Mega Man Rider, PVCs and stuff. Whole bunch. Hope I hope that answers a little bit. T Formers 2002 with the $5 super chat. Do you think it's a coincidence Armada Tidal Wave can connect to Galaxy Prime plus Megatron 4 years later, or vice versa, Leo Breaker and Tidal Wave? I think it's more just because they use similar universal ports. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's just more similar engineering ideas. It's kind of like how you're able to make a third party item that works with like a Masterpiece Star Saber to make it combine and everything. So there's just a lot of similarities and plans and pieces and parts. I think it's a coincidence, if anything. I'm pretty sure Armada Tidal Wave. I remember Aaron Archer. There was no plans for anything with him going into Cybertron, so they probably would have not planned or engineered around that. It would have been a coincidence, if anything. We need Nancy from the Junkions. Yeah, I would like a female Junkion. That'd be cool. To everyone, have a great and happy New Year, Michael Koo. Thank you, Michael Koo. Horned Owl with the YouTube member question. Best of 2022 for me is MPG02, which is Getsue. I like MPG01 personally. I'm looking at my boxed one there. And then we got the leader class sludge, excuse me, not slug, sludge, and Motormaster. Motormaster is a good one too. NFT Hot Rod. Yeah, someone. Hey, look, I'll keep saying it. Hey, if anyone has an NFT Hot Rod, physically, the physical one, not the actual NFT, I don't care about that. Let me know. I will gladly like to see a photo of it because I still am convinced they don't exist. They don't exist. Look at these Beyblade stuff. Look at this. Beyblade, Dragoon, Tyson, or Taichi. What was he called in Japanese? I forget his Japanese name. Princeton Phalanx 59. I think the best toy for 2022 is the G.I. Joe Serpentor. A lot of people like that. I was talking to my friend Jason. He was saying he absolutely loves that figure. And no GPS like the original Serpentor toy. So that's another fantastic thing about it. When you get a new toy that doesn't suffer from the problems of the old one. Sarah says, I feel happy with the Red Dragon, Tiger Hawk, still leader. Hope for future Optimus don't end up. Hope the future Optimal Optimus doesn't end up being a commander. My rare, and then you said your rarest item is that I never get the Astro Boy that I found in the middle of a desert. You found an Astro Boy toy in the middle of a desert? That's definitely a story. The weirdest toy I ever found ever as a kid was there was this giant like it wasn't the 6-inch ones, it was the large ones, LJN Hulk Hogan figure, missing his hand. One of his hands was missing. It was just in the middle of the street, and this was like in the 90s. Like it was just like abandoned or something. Takao, thank you. Thank you. It was Takao. Tyson was called Takao. I remember his granddad in the Japanese version. Takao. I watched the Japanese version of Beyblade back in the day. Wasn't a big fan of the dub. It's Beyblade. Dun, 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 dun. Good theme though, but I like the Japanese theme better. Shining Soul. Yeah, look at this stuff. One day, guys, I'm telling you what I want to do. I want to like do a setup here, and we're gonna have like an overhead cam, and I'll just bust out all the books, and we can just go through all the cool stuff together throughout the years. Yeah, all the cool stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Machine Robo Rescue. No one remembers that. That's some good stuff. Mikey and Louie, happy new Cybertron cycle, everyone. Not yet, but soon. My new toy of the year is NECA Warduke. Warduke. Which one's that one? Is that the no, McFarlane's doing the Warhammer stuff right now, so it's not him. It's not a NECA product. Sarah says, I lost my original Dinobot at the dentist's office when I was a kid. Got to keep your hand on your Dinobot. That's terrible. Some kid managed to get a brand new Dinobot toy. He got a filling and a brand new 1995 Beast Wars toy. What a lucky kid. Princess Phalanx 59, Titan, Black Zarek, and Metroplex are also great. Black Zarek, again, another GPS suffering toy that now we get an update. And not only is it bigger than the original, it doesn't have the problems of the original. No one should ever buy an original Black Zarek toy for Master Force. You are throwing your money away. I literally watched a guy at BotCon 2015 buy a brand new loose complete Black Zarek, and he had it in the bag, and it was just like in a bag, right? And I literally said to my friend, I'm like, that thing is not making it home without some kind of damage. There is no way, because those feet are fragile. Everything about it is just ratchety, broken, clear plastic nightmare. And whatever he paid, he probably paid like $600. Imagine paying $600 for a Transformer toy that could break any moment. Just looking at it, just sitting there. Madness, madness, absolute madness. Even buying it mint in box complete. What is it, $1,000? Come on, come on, crazy, crazy, bro, crazy, bro. Let's see, anything else? Anything else in here? It's cool. Got more XY Sapphire and Ruby Pokemon stuff. It's all. This is like what? Wait, when was this? What's the date on this? This is. I want to know the date on this one. Oh, you got a purple tidal wave there. That right away gives you an idea of the year. Definitely 2001 for sure, or 2002. This has to be 2002. Doesn't that? They're so terrible with that. They put volume, and then you get a mask of Abba Killer. Let's see. We got a super chat from DR King. I hope I pronounced that correct. The Renegade Studio Transformers tabletop RPG is surprisingly good. Do you have any thoughts on it? I was not involved with it. Um, that's all I could really say. That's a completely separate department from the other one. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. I hope that it actually does well, but we will see. Again, it's the same thing. We don't really know the numbers until a year later. So, and then we can really figure things out. I did not engage with it. I do have the book. I have the core rule book. I have not used it. I'm not a big D&D person, I'll be honest with you. I'm more of a TCG kind of guy. So like I have the book, they sent it to me even though I had nothing to do with it, but because I helped them with the brand consulting stuff, but have not messed with it. Not a big role play guy. I like role playing games, as in like RPGs for PC and stuff. I like tabletop stuff, more like a Warhammer kind of thing. I like TCGs, CCGs, love that kind of stuff. The role play elements kind of lost on me a little bit. Ron Diaz, Earthspark, kind of hard to watch, not gonna lie. You know what? Earthspark, it has its hit or misses. I'm kind of curious where they're gonna go with it. The fact that we've gone, what are we, like 12 episodes, and I feel like 12 episodes in and we haven't really done much. That's the one criticism that I gave Earthspark is not a lot happens over a long period of time. Like I feel like we're going to get to 26 episodes of that first season, and it's going to be a very slow burn. Where I feel like, one episode of Beast Wars or one episode of Animated, and a lot transpires in those episodes. So maybe it's because it has a streaming service kind of thing. So, even though it's like, oh, it's 13 episodes, but it really is all just one giant episode that's meant to be binged. I don't know. I'm never big on human elements. I've always felt that human elements, especially when they're really focused on, kind of take away from Transformers. And then you always have the people going, "Well, there's always been humans in Transformers." Yeah, and sometimes that they're used to a minimum, and thus things are done well. And sometimes they're used to a maximum, and that's why things suffer. Um, when people celebrate Beast Wars, tell me how many humans were in that. When people celebrate Animated, humans were used as villains in a capacity, but mostly it was still the focus still was, you know, the Autobots, and then spoiler ended up Sorry was also not a human. We had another Cybertronian on our hands. Transformers Prime, the kids. Honestly, if Jack and Raph were not in the show, I would be totally fine with that. Miko kind of at least engaged a little bit, but I mean, the kids could have been left out. The best Transformer series is, dare I say, focus on the title of what the show is called on, and that's Transformers. The kids need to be on the side. JR Mina, just want to greet everyone with a happy new year. Thank you, JR Mina, from the Philippines, and being a longtime supporter of the podcast. We're going to go for another, because we had a little technical issues and stuff. We'll go like another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll call it quits today. I want to make it up for lost time. James Hobskin with the super chat. Happy New Year. Do you think they will do reissue Shattered Glass Jetfire in 2023? I don't know if they're going to do reissues of old Shattered Glass product. Because think about it, in order for them to do a reissue of it, that means that would be a commander class that they'd have to fire up the factories again in Vietnam to then make how many units? Like, how many units do you think they would have to make it justifiable for their time and energy? What, another 3,000, 4,000 units? And 3,000 to 4,000 units on a commander class product that might sell or might not sell, even if the secondary market is high. Oh, it's going for like $150 now. Yeah, but that might be two or three guys that are asking that, but would it be two or 3,000 people that are willing to pay, let's say, the original MSRP? And it won't be the original MSRP, it'll be the new MSRP for commander classes. And considering how Jetfire is also very heavy on parts and pieces and plastic, I don't know. We have a reissue of regular Jetfire coming supposedly, which is good news. I don't know about the Shattered Glass one. Regular Jetfire has at least the argument that's like, well, he was in the War for Cybertron cartoon. Maybe that'll move some sales. It's also a much more iconic version of the character, where the Shattered Glass one is just a black repaint, and some people might not dig that. Um, so it's tough. It's tough with that one because it's all about, is it worth it to take the time to do that? And sometimes it really isn't. The Prime Wars trilogy, none of that made for TV. Like Prime Wars trilogy, the War for Cybertron Netflix stuff. Yeah, it has no humans in it, but that's not why it's garbage. It's garbage because it's garbage. There's some really rough Transformer series, and those ones are because they're just low budget. Like, I'm not like, no one's going to tell me like the Transformers Robot Masters made for DVD exclusive pack-in stories are some kind of cerebrally amazing Transformer series. They have no humans in those ones either. If anything, because the budget is so low on those shows, they can't even afford to make humans because it would be uncanny valley, territory. They'd look terrible. Sarah, I consulting with the TMNT people, and they told me that my sticky original dragon a red dragon just needs hot water and Windex. Anytime you have a figure that has any kind of sticky residue that's coming from the plastic, number one, you have humidity problems in your environment that's causing that to come to the surface. And you could use Windex. I would feel Windex is a little more corrosive. I would use actually what I always suggest for a lot of people when it comes to cleaning toys, and I'm surprised not people suggest it more. Um, baby shampoo. Baby shampoo is so low corrosive, and it's really good for cleaning toys if you're worried about damaging something. I mean, it's like anything that has stickers, you're always going to be in trouble. But in terms of paint and plastics and stuff like that, baby shampoo is really good too. I'm surprised not a lot of people say. I got that suggestion from a Star Wars collector, because Star Wars toys, usually you have like the body is PVC, but the arms and I mean the body is ABS, but the arms and legs are PVC. And over time, certain Star Wars collectors, if they're in high humidity environments, you'd have the sweating on the arms and legs. And all of them, they're like, yo, fill your sink with hot water, put baby shampoo, mix that stuff up, then like just wash it, and does a great job. So that's a good one. Sarah says, where can I get the Monopoly Beast Wars? Did you work on it? No, I didn't work on the Beast Wars Monopoly. That was Hasbro Gaming Division. That's their stuff. Walmart is probably the best example. I'm pretty sure Walmart right now has it in stock, both in Canada and in the United States, last I checked. It is slightly more expensive, but primarily then because it comes with way more pieces than your average Monopoly board. It comes with both Maximals and Predacons in both modes, in both animal mode and robot mode. Then it comes with extra chips. Like, usually you get like the six different Monopoly pieces the houses and the hotels, the cards, that's it, the board. This one, it has Energon cubes, it has all this extra stuff, it has extra die cast pieces, the golden disc. There's so much going on with that one, so it's a little more expensive. Agreed on Netflix Beast Wars Mega being horrible. Yes, he was. Oh my goodness. But that's the problem with the Netflix stuff. It wasn't unionized voice acting, so you couldn't even get any of the Beast Wars people if you wanted to, because then you'd have to pay them properly. But all the Netflix people were getting paid garbage, and they were happy with getting paid garbage. Horned Owl, who's going to be the last question today, will be Horned Owl, and then we'll call it quits. Horned Owl, even if the RPG doesn't do well, the core rulebook is now out there and will be able to, for someone to play it. Yeah, of course, because then things are evergreen. It's the same thing with D&D. When you have like, version 1, version 2, version 3, that stuff is forever. So it's out there. And then people could build from it too on top of that. They could build on it and everything, and it's always good with that kind of stuff. Look at the Transformer TCG. After that ended, the fans continued it. They ended up making their own decks, their own stuff, their own combiners, their own expansion sets. When you have a dedicated fan base, especially when it comes to the tabletop world, you're set, man. You're set, They're very dedicated. Anyways, guys, I think we're done. I want to just say thank you again. Since this is the last stream of the year, I just want to just take this moment. I just want to put aside a couple minutes. I just want to thank all of you guys. It was a fantastic year. The podcast just keeps growing like crazy. Can't be stopped, so to speak. You guys are fantastic. It's amazing how we get such great turnouts every live stream. Obviously, it dips down in the later half of it because it gets late for some people, especially with people who are on different sides of the globe. But I mean, we always get like 150 to 200 people, and then it dives down to about in that 100 range. What are we, 93 right now or something? But thanks to everyone who comes by for the live streams. Thanks everyone who watches just the segments I do. I hope you guys enjoy what I do. I hope you guys enjoy the time and energy that I put into, keeping you guys educated, informed, and entertained on the Transformer product, giving you images and all kinds of stuff, and really showing you the nitty-gritty inside baseball of how the products are put together and using the history to figure out what the next stuff is going to be. I just want to just thank you guys for enjoying all of that, watching my videos, commenting, subscribing, sharing them around, posting them. That you'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes. I look at my analytics and I go, man, like some videos they really blow up, and it's because people share them around. They go, hey, Proto Man had a good point on this or a good point on that, and they share it around. So I appreciate that a lot. Like, you guys, look, we're the number one Transformer podcast in the world, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of you guys just really like what I do, and I appreciate that a lot because, I've done a lot of different things in the Transformer world from different things, and I kind of jump around, but the podcast has always been something that's been consistent since about 2009. And it wasn't until only a couple years ago when me and Josdy really just front ended it all into YouTube. It used to be on MP3s, and then it was on iTunes for a bit, and those are cannibal. Like they never do well there. You could put your stuff on iTunes, you could put your stuff on Spotify or on an MP3 file on a website, but it doesn't find the audience like YouTube does. And YouTube is just something everyone has that app on their phone, it'll pop up, and people really like it. People like what we do. I'm grateful for all the patrons, man. You guys, that's why patrons and the YouTube members, that's why I constantly try to find ways to give back to you guys. You guys support me. I'm going to throw exclusives. I'm going to throw giveaways. I'm going to do any kind of content. Being part of the Discord, if you're a Patreon member, all the sales every single week. I'm always trying to find sales so you guys could save money. So that if you gave me $5 for to be part of the Patreon or $10, I'm going to make sure you save $25 in Transformer toys before the month is over. That's kind of the plan to make everything good. Anyways, guys, thanks for all the love and support. Thanks to my different sponsors and to Seats, and of course, Symbiote Studios with the plush that are chilling in the background. There's the Unicron head of my boy Shockwave, and the pins. Thanks to Symbiote Studios and all their, those guys too, they help a lot. Thanks to Hasbro, hooked me up with HasLab Victory Saber and stuff, made sure I didn't have to drop mad cash. Um, but also because they're all look. There's 3 or 4 Hasbro people in the chat every single time. Maybe not today. Everyone's on vacation today, but I didn't really bother to check the chat too much on the other screen to see. It's hard. I have 2 screens in front of us in case you can't see. Um, but yeah, thanks again, guys. It's been a fantastic year. Take care of yourselves, like I always say. Enjoy the new year. Have fun. It's going to be an amazing 2023, and hopefully the Transformer world will grow with us, like the podcast has, and it'll be awesome. Take care of yourselves. Rock out with the robots in the skies, and I'm out of here. I love you all. Take care.